Ethan is from Alabama, Sweet Home, Alabama. Get it off your chest, Ethan.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. So how you doing?
Doing pretty darn well. It's really rainy. I'm actually working right now, driving around. But anyway, I'm calling because there was a caller later yesterday that was, I believe he's an Australian man in Japan, and he was saying he was agnostic and that he needed some spark of magic to convince him that there is a God or a spiritual realm. And this is a doozy. I know that this is going to be crazy, but I would suggest that he look into psychedelics, maybe DMT or magic mushrooms, do his research and give it a shot, because I'll tell you why. When I was, up until I was 19, even though I had went to Christian school my whole life, etc., I was actually, I was atheist, and I had never smoked, drank, never done pot, none of that stuff in high school, very clean as far as that goes. But the first thing I ever tried was actually magic mushrooms, and totally blew my mind, convinced me there was a spiritual realm, convinced me there was a God. It took my ego away, told me, not to be afraid of death. This was all like a silent voice, kind of like what you speak about, is that God's sort of like a silent voice.
Yes.
But it was like I was being communicated to, don't be afraid of death. These anxieties that humans feel, it's not natural. These stress and worries, this forward motion of just, trying to find a meaning, all of that is not natural. And I would just suggest that maybe any of the viewers, as well as that man, maybe start doing their research and considering maybe some system shocks, so to speak, to really prove it to themselves. Because one thing is that the magic of life has sort of been taken away, and that with these scientists and so-called intellectuals try to rationalize everything. Before these times, when there was all these new terms and science and intellectualism, life was considered magic. Like, people saw the magic in the trees and the plants and everything. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just a little thought that I had.
Well, Ethan, the primary reason that most people don't believe in God, those who don't believe, only don't believe because they didn't have perfect dads, fathers in their homes. And when you don't love your father, you cannot love God, because it's through your father that you see the image of God working through him as a kid. You see that in your father, and that helps to keep you on course. But when you don't see that image of God working through your father, because the fathers are sons of God, they represent the truth. Even when they're weak, they still represent the truth, right? And so
absolutely, yeah.
When you don't see that in your father, you're not going to see God. That's when you have to encourage. I've been encouraging men and women to turn back to their earthly fathers so that through him they can return to God. But you got to have, it's not enough.
I agree with everything you say for the most part. I'm married with kids. I talk with my wife about this kind of stuff, or with a kid, not kids. I talk with her about these kind of things all the time, the importance of marriage. It's about the kids. It's about the family. That's all it's about. It's about setting that example for the child. And, I don't encourage drug use by any means to anybody. But if you're in that particular case, like you've been so sort of brainwashed that you need something to sort of shock you back into reality, I would look into maybe safely trying one of those things.
No, they shouldn't try drugs. No. They shouldn't try drugs at all, man. They just need to really watch themselves and be honest about themselves. That's why God said to know thyself. Once you know yourself, then things will start to change. You shouldn't try drugs at all, because even when you are high and on the drugs and you hear a voice, it's not the voice of God, because God's voice is a voiceless voice. God revealed to you and Satan talked to you. So that's what
I was saying, Jesse. It's so crazy because the voiceless voice that I heard that was telling me to, let go of my stress, my anxiety, let go of my anger. That voice seems like, it wasn't a voice, is what I'm saying. It was like, but
you don't want
to completely.
Yeah, but you don't want to encourage people to get high at all. They shouldn't try any type of drugs because they go unconscious and they would never know God. But let me ask you this. How long you been married, Ethan?
About 2 years now, right at 2 years.
Are you the head of your wife?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Did you have sex with her before marriage?
I did, to be honest, yeah.
And did you live with her before marriage?
For about a month, yeah.
What made you do it that way?
It was just a particular scenario, not really as much of a choice. Like, it was kind of, sort of like cheat, kind of like a necessity. I don't want to go into my life story, but yeah, she had to stay with me. And we were planning on getting married. I'd already proposed to her at that point, like several months before that. And that's just how it kind of turned out.
Did she already have children?
No.
Oh. You said she had to stay with you?
Yeah.
She didn't have to stay with you. That was another way out. There's always a way out where you don't do wrong. God always have a way out. It's just that when you're in a fallen state, you can't see that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's true as well. And I agree with what you say about marriage.
Yeah.
And the proper pattern to do everything. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I'm blessed with my wife and my child and everything.
Right on.
But if there was an ideal way to go about things, you definitely set that blueprint out for everybody. If they follow that, then they'll be in good shape.
That's right. Absolutely. Ethan, thank you so much.
One more thing.
I got to take a break. I'm sorry, I'm at the bottom of the hour. Back in a moment, folks. Back in a moment.